We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Wraps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Wraps, where the big boys play.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Voice Party Podcast. Where's my camera? Right there. My camera's right there. I'm JD here. I'm with Marcos.
Yo, what's up?
Little Marcos, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this one.
You're excited for this one? I'm happy to hear that, bro. We got Black Joaquin right here. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Man, I'm happy to be here.
All right. And we got the funniest man on the podcast, Mr. Corday Snell. Look at that smile.
Hey, what's good, guys?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's the facts.
What happened with the duo? The tag team is gone now, apparently. But
Nah, man, we just have to put the belt away. That's all. All right.
And we got
showed off a
Phil.
little too much.
And we got Phil in the ones and twos. What's up, Phil? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm making podcasts great again.
We have a very special guest this week.
Yes, we do.
I'm very excited. Every time I see this guy at shows, I get excited, man. It's like a ray of sunshine in my life, dude.
Saw him the last two times.
Make it real loud, everybody, for Inanc Karac, China.
Thank you.
How you doing, man?
I'm stoked.
Yeah?
Damn.
How you doing, bro?
Doing great.
I had to have you, bro, because I got to support Chicano comedians.
That's right. Para español, marque 9, por favor.
I thought you were...
¿Dónde está iguana con George Bush? What? I brought salsa and lemon on top of a painting that
which we have to show you guys.
Chicano powers.
Chicano powers.
See.
This is a first.
This is our...
This is the first time we've ever had a guest bring me a gift that they made for me specifically.
Yeah.
Sí, compadre.
He brought it for the podcast, not just you, JD. Okay.
And it says green card right there.
Oh, it does? Oh, shit.
That's right. It's a sign of respect.
Oh, man, what a statement.
Oh,
right.
I gotta tell you,
Of course
when I went to the past two shows last weekend at Copper Spoon, it's when I saw you for the first time.
Really?
I was cracking up. You, by far, I was like super, what's
Just
it called?
giggling.
Giggling about your set, dude.
Thank you, bro.
So good.
You're so kind.
So good. So like you have a new fan.
I do.
Here.
A white fan too. That's a plus. I was testing you. Very good. I have a good friend who can go for both. See.
I do get the white passing a lot.
Bilingual.
You get Latino all the time, I imagine, in
All
that Bay
the
Area.
time.
Yes,
Yeah,
I bet you were
it's
Latin as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I could be easily from.
Spain.
Yeah.
That's where I thought.
Istanbul, California.
That's right.
We said that yesterday. Last night
That
we
was
said
yours.
That was me.
That's such a great idea. Yes.
Istanbul.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about your background. I just know you from comedy and art, apparently here now. No,
Oh,
not that background. Your background.
It's vinyl. It's got some abstract art.
Yes.
It says.
Is that what that is? Abstract art?
No, this is somebody who wrote "Welcome Right."
Yes,
And
for sure.
I can also only read "Chapati" to the Chapati and cast.
That's a political party from back in the day.
Welcome to the podcast.
Which one of us is laughing like a little squirrel? There's a little squirrel. Corday, that is so unexpected. That's so cool.
I lost my voice the other day, so it's going up, it's going down.
You know what's so before we start, can I say one of the greatest things about Corday?
Yes, please.
He always has something so new that nobody's ever done. When I met Corday, he was a vagine. He was a vagine. And then, right? He was a vagine. And then I was like, wow. And he was so shining. He had like this beautiful energy to himself. I said, what is this? He said, I'm a vagine. I was like, that makes sense.
What's a vagine?
Vegan.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get it? I thought you...
He's more Americanized. He was a vagina. Right. Now he has your laughter. It's so cool.
I always have this. Unfortunately, when you get me, you get this little like fat kid out of
On
me.
the telephone, when I get called by anybody, often INS, they say, or I don't know, home defense, whatever. When I hear people say your last name, or which takes a long time.
Yeah.
But my voice is a 14-year-old girl's voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they always go, if let's say it's something that I want to work on, like this GoPro is not working, which is like a white problem, right? So, this GoPro is not working. They're like, ma'am, I'm like, that's the problem right there. You gender stereotype me. First, it's a sir, sometimes, often sir, so no. But I do, am I loud?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, cool. All right. That's it. I like non-ended stories.
Where are you originally from?
Originally, I am actually from the western part of Turkey, almost like.
You mean the left turkey breast?
That's so good. That's so good.
I'm sorry, that was stupid.
That is very good. That is very funny. I've never heard that before.
All right.
Like turkey's breast. Gobble, gobble. You know what?
I've always been more of a drumstick myself.
Right. When people make fun of Turkey, the first thing I say, which is great, is here in America, we have 2 states, right?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania and Virginia. And everybody, including our white friend here, the token friend, our Caucasian, are racially whatever. You originally come from either Pennsylvania, then you go to Virginia, and then Turkey. That's not funny. That's funny. I feel like we're gonna
have a lot of fun.
This is so nice.
I can clip a lot of this.
Yeah. So you came from the western part of.
So I grew up in a city called Izmir, and it's a very nice place. There's a lot of nice beaches there, and Odyssey was written there.
It's called Women.
That's right. Yeah.
Beaches.
Beach. The original Amazon women are actually from.
Oh, really?
Where I'm from. Yeah. So Brazil stole it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of those things. Yeah. Amazons. Also, yeah. Then Amazon, the internet company, stole from.
Oh,
Right, from the
100%.
Brazilians. Yeah. So, and
It's a
we,
vicious
as
cycle.
Americans, we were in charge. So Amazon is ours now. What?
I didn't realize Homer was from Turkey. Was he weird?
Yeah, you don't watch Simpsons. That's why. Because Homer was from Turkey. Homer Simpson. Right.
Where do you go from?
Springfield's in Turkey, bro.
That's right. Yeah. Springfieldistan.
So you
I did.
How old were you?
I agree with everyone because I love you too much. Yes.
How old were you when you left?
So I had subtitles up till like 14. And then, how long have you had subtitles, both of you?
I still do. I'm gonna have some today because I'll be
Para
laughing.
español. I had subtitles up till I think 14. Then, yeah, and after that, I was. My father said, "Son, you're not doing so good." I was like, "Yeah," and at that time, I got kicked out of maybe 8 schools. I was not a very great student. And then I got diagnosed with this amazing thing called ADD.
Oh, nice.
And I was like
Welcome
the
to the
poster
club.
child in the
Yeah,
90s in
yeah.
Turkey. It was nice. So they'd be
You're the
like,
first
this
one.
is it. Yeah, I think so.
yeah.
I think I'm the OG. Original ADD. ADHD.
Well, I'm glad to meet the originator.
That's right. Well, it's good to have you.
I'm part of
When
the
did you
club.
join our cult?
In 1996, I joined.
That's right. Is that where you were born?
I was born in 1995. I got diagnosed really early.
When you were 1 year old, before you were able to speak, let alone the subtitles.
Something about like, it was something about.
Was this in Mexico?
No, here.
Oh.
Something like I was like very like distracted all the time.
How would they know? Like when I see when I see a friend.
Maybe
that
it was
has a-
maybe it
yeah.
was later than that. Maybe you're right. I was
Right,
just
yeah.
they just told. I just remember it was like really young. Like
Yeah.
I was like it was before I was kindergarten or anything.
Yeah, 1996 was the year that was the Atlanta Olympics, right? Still at that time, I was still under subtitles, so that's like the only thing I remember about America.
You know what?
And what's that? If you want to be my love.
Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Spice Girls. Yeah, 1990s. And I had my dog, Milo.
I didn't know this because I thought ADD and ADHD though in 90s were different.
Probably.
But now they're the same.
They're
Now
the same?
they combine them together, so now everyone just has ADHD.
We're united under
You have,
Yeah.
you have ADD. I have OBCD.
You are amazing. First of all, I would disagree with you. Not because,
I wouldn't.
right, I think he's great.
No,
What am I saying?
he's obese.
He's beautiful. I love him. He's an amazing person.
That's why I brought you
100%.
on.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the only. That's mainly the reason why I brought
Yeah.
you on. So you had ACD.
I had ADD.
Sounds like you might have had several CDs.
No, you have ADD. That's you were. What were you? You just not a good student. You're
No,
fighting. You're distracted.
I liked animals a lot.
Okay.
What specifically?
Like
Dogs and cats. And,
Okay.
Okay,
you know, it's
like it wasn't like a penguin thing.
Turkey doesn't really. You know what? We have penguins there, but mostly in the zoos. So I wasn't really attracted to going to the zoos and talking to the penguins. But we had dogs and cats, and sometimes other street animals, and I was really into them. And I also was really into. Today you would call it parkour, right?
Oh.
I really liked acrobatics, and I liked
Sure.
jumping over things and flying and doing a lot of flips. And that didn't translate into academia so well. So
100%.
yeah, I was really. I mean, I would always like doze off and think about how cool it would be to just jump off from this like high
from that
ceiling
height.
and then
Yeah.
do a flip. And
Yeah.
then I found there was something called Aussie rappelling where you would go face first from a building. So then I got really into that, and then I got in some trouble with the law enforcement, the gendarmes. Do you have gendarmes here?
What is that? No.
Wait,
Gendarmes is like military police. That's like police, but this military police. They were like, you can't do this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Gendarme.
Gendarmes.
Oh, no.
Gendarme.
like Gestapo.
Yeah, close
Kind
to
of?
that. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
No,
like
well,
federales.
Oh yeah, I guess we do have that here.
Yeah, yeah.
What would that be?
Oh, like the FBI, kind of.
Maybe I don't know.
You know, we have like in US,
We have several divisions
Like the police force is like almost like the government. They have
Yeah.
some, but so we have other forces that are always out there.
Different gangs.
That's
we have
right.
MS-13 here. We have.
That's so cool. Which gang do you support?
I don't support any.
I've always been.
Which one do you play?
Partial.
Dave?
Yeah.
support. Well, I do write a check to the IRS.
Those are
Yeah, that's my
They're the
gang.
This
biggest.
is an American tradition.
Yeah,
That's
it's American tradition.
I like it.
So you weren't doing well over there. What made you come over here? ADD?
Well, I got so then in 17th of August, year 1999, we had a very bad earthquake up north, about 300 miles off from where I live, and so many people passed away. And unfortunately, we have earthquakes, and God rest all their souls. But at that time, because I was doing so bad, and something happened, and I got kicked out of school. So many places later, I found. Like I didn't really have any grades that was even anywhere. So my dad said, well, it doesn't seem to like, it's not going to work. So I said, what do I do? And then I went to a climb with a friend of mine, two other friends, which also is called Mount Olympus. And I got lost there. And after I got lost, I almost got hypothermia. I was on the news. Like it was just a nightmare. And then I got a message, find out that there was no school that's going to accept me. And my dad said, it's not working here. So I said, what do I do? He's like, you're going to America. I was like, LA, New York, Hawaii. And he's like, Iowa. I was like, shit. I haven't seen snow then. So I was sent to Iowa.
Wow.
1999.
A lot of
Sorry,
storms,
2000. Yeah, a lot of storms and a lot of Caucasians. And at that time, the first year 2000, I was in high school. In a place called Muscatine High School, and I knew nothing about culture. I knew nothing about nothing except, my mom said, make sure you wear as tight jeans as you can, like what we do here, and tie your hair back and look good. And she got me this long jacket, kind of like Columbine shooting jacket. So, and in Turkey, guys, when we meet each other, we kiss, and I was like, shy about talking to girls, so I started school first day in Muscatine. And Muscatine was a place that there was like 50% Hispanic, 50% Caucasian. And then I started, and my mom said, I said, what do I do? She said, be friendly. So I went to every guy and I kissed everybody. And so this guy says, you know, you're a fag. I was like, yes. What? For 3 weeks, I had no idea what it meant. So I called everybody that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was like.
I thought it was a term of endearment.
That's right. Well, I didn't know. Then I started watching South Park, where I learned my English. And then I did. I actually failed in high school there too. Then I got sent to another place, and then by the grace of God, I'd say I met this very special two families. One believed in me, the other one also believed in me, and then somehow I made it to college because I was really kind of like my dream was to be an acrobat.
Okay.
And then I wanted to fly, and that didn't really work. I just wanted to fly in the air all the time. And then, yeah, it's weird. And then
Not yet.
not that time. And then I somehow started college, and then I started in September 2001, and September 11th happened. And those 10 days were fun, but then the rest was very hard. I was studying journalism, and then it was just not an easy time. Those 4 years were tough.
Tough because
I'm Muslim.
Yeah.
And I was like, and there'd be, when I was in college, I say this on stage, but these are not really jokes. These are things that happened to me. There was a guy that came up to me and said, bro, I'm really happy to know you. I'm like, great. He's like, you're the only black person I've ever met. I was like, no. And I was like, where am I? You know what I mean? That's when you have like you're 17, 18 years old and you're wondering about everything and you're like, why did I end up here? And I said, could you open that up a little bit more? And he said, I just watched a movie at that time. What was that movie with Russell Crowe?
Gladiator.
I said, he's like, you look like that guy. I said, which one? He's like, I thought of, I was like, Russell Crowe. He's like, no, the other guy. I was like, Iowa, Then 4 more years. 4 more years in that place.
I see there is like a younger version of the guy, the slave owner. Remember?
I don't know what it was. So then in college, I studied journalism, and I wanted to do, and then I studied theology because I was really interested in that subject.
Yeah.
And then right before I graduated, I just got this because I was really involved. I was pretty anti-war, and at that time, those were the years of
Iraq War, Afghanistan.
Yeah, I remember Sultan Bush the first, second.
Yeah,
that piece of shit. I apologize if anybody likes George Bush here, but I think he's a good artist. He's got a dog, whatever.
He's an artist now,
right?
Yeah.
But at that time, he was really not cool.
Yeah.
So he made my life hard at that time, and I was studying journalism. And
the Patriot Act too.
Whatever. We're allies. Turkey and U.S. are allies, but nobody knew then. So
that's why I invited you on the show.
Yeah. So we're allies. Yeah, we're allies with Mexico also.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
White people. Well,
not white people.
I'm an ally with you from 2016 to 2020. I've been an ally of the white people, especially the Caucasian friends, from 2016 to 2020.
Those are the good years for
years of the Führer. I was very bro, white, right, alt-right, bro. By the way, he introduced me to myself. We met as, what'd you call me?
I said, what's cracking, cracker?
Nice.
Everyone's a cracker.
That's so cool. See that?
Crackers can come in all different colors. You got your Ritz, your saltines, your chicken and the biscuits.
That is so cool.
That is true.
That kind of self-confidence I want to have. That's why I came to America. To have this confidence, this racial confidence, that this videographer, this amazing man right here, look at his comfort right there. He's in charge. Corey's not in charge.
No.
He's great. No, you're not in charge.
No, I'm not.
Neither you nor you. Thank you. Do we have any questions?
You notice how we segregated by race?
I don't know where I stand.
Where would you sit? What table would you sit?
Well, if there were other Turks, we would take over, right? This is our place.
Yeah.
But since I'm the only one, I'd probably sit with somewhere in between.
Right here. Because we kind of are the same.
Also, ethnically, I seasonally change my ethnicity a lot. My pigmentation changes.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, right. Because it's a thing
Is that an iOS filter or?
What happens is, I think when summer comes, people's views change.
That's true.
About my, they're
That's
like,
very true.
you are different. But in winter, there's been like, especially like mid-December, if I haven't been to Hawaii, I could join into any place he goes.
If you wear a beanie,
I could be easily a
hoodie,
hipster. Yeah.
a beanie and a hoodie, you could be Russian in the wintertime.
You know, Corday, you're right. I don't think so. I don't think you. I wouldn't go as far.
He was snoring. That wasn't a disagreeing.
Oh, were you agreeing? Would I look Russian? What is the highest Caucasian I can get to?
You could be.
I think it stops in like Italy or France.
You could be.
You could be
French.
French. You could be French, or you could be German, but don't. But if you didn't talk, like just your physical like appearance.
No, you could be.
Ich verstehe Deutsch sehr gut, aber kannst verstehen mit.
To me, you're Mexican.
You know why
bro.
I speak German?
Yeah.
You know, because we are the Mexicans of Germany. I'm a Turk, and there's a lot of us, and we all understand German. Kein Problem. Yeah. But we're like, we gang up there. There's a lot of Turks, and there's something called like trap music, Turkish rap music.
Yeah.
Almanyana caddeleri gece, that kind of stuff. You know?
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Scheiße.
What do you listen to? What music do you listen to?
I like apologetic rap. And you know that,
what is that?
I don't know. Sometimes like I learned English a couple. I didn't know how to spell notorious. So SNOOOP or double G taught me that. And then I also like, you know that, what is that? The music that is what do you call that? Neurotic, but at the same time like complaining. Hey, will you on me? I hate that kind of music. I hate country music. Emo I don't like. Country I don't like because ethnically it's impossible for us to like it. It sounds like they're coming to get us. Doesn't it though?
Yes, it does.
It does, right? Country music is like, shoot them Browns, get them, put them. I don't like it. I don't like it. Do you like it?
That's the clip.
Isn't that true though? Yeah.
Yeah, I see. It sounds.
I like rock. I like real American music. I love Metallica.
Okay.
I love the Doors the most.
Oh yeah.
Jim Morrison, I love him very
You
much.
like the Stooges?
I do. I do. But
You're
also,
a very free spirit guy. That's what
I
I
hope
see
so.
that. I think so.
you're so
We'll
kind.
see.
Hopefully. What you got to say, white boy?
He doesn't talk.
That's right.
Kind of his thing.
I gotta focus on pushing the buttons.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm talking, I'm
Isn't
not
that
pushing
cool?
buttons.
How we ethnically overpowered his whiteness, right? Right.
I agree.
I
Hope
think
you don't get
right
pulled
now,
over on your way.
you know what I think? Like the main group color here is like a darker olive, and it's with him in it. Otherwise, it'd be like happy brown.
A darker olive.
Yeah, I think.
What
so.
kind? Because there's Kalamasa olives or what?
Bro, I don't recognize Kalamata olives because it's a Greek word.
Oh, you guys got beef.
No, we don't. I'm joking. It's not.
There, but
Yeah. Historically, we had a lot of
historically,
beef.
you have-
Yeah.
Are you friends with Greek people
Of
now?
course, I love Greek people. My family is, we came from the Thessalonica by that side of the world, but that kind of an old hate, like dislike or whatever,
Right.
I find it to be very funny. So if I ever do like a comedy stuff, I want to bring that. I thought of doing like a 1 hour bullshit about the fight that Turks and the Greeks had with each other because I thought it'd be very funny.
When was the last time that problem was?
Like a real.
Yesterday, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah, people are still like,
To this day,
especially
they
with the
still don't.
islands.
Yeah.
It's not that the people love each other and the people are very similar to each other, but somehow both the people that are leading the nations want to lean onto that. But any kind of ethnic, any kind of cultural dislike has been brought by an imperialistic power.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah.
You know, we
Not
have
the people.
No, it's often not. Usually it's, for example, this is something I could say I'm pretty happy about, proud about. When the empire, the Ottoman Empire, before it became the Republic, which I also support very much, it was an empire that was Muslim, right?
Yeah.
But it was not forceful in that sense of religion or what have you. But like, you know, if you go,
Let me just clarify that
ahead.
what he's talking about is not some Star Wars stuff. It's Turkey.
that's right.
I'm mostly doing this for
Don't
Marcos.
they have the same like symbol kind of?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exact same
Yeah.
symbol.
Yeah.
You know what we call our kings in Turkey? Jedis. No, it's not the same. It does sound similar.
Pretty similar.
Jedi Sultan. That's so cool. Yeah. No.
So sorry, you were saying
I forgot.
the Ottoman Empire that you support.
No. no. I like how you twist it. This is so cool.
That's what you said.
No, did I say no? But they were not forcing religion on people
For
or
sure.
language. But sometimes the ethnic changes. Let's say in my part of the world, there's Turkish, Kurdish, Arab, Assyrian, Armenian, Greek, and like a different let's say.
Phoenician too, right? Phoenician.
Sure, people from Phoenix come up there too.
Phoenician is much more ancient.
We call them Arizonians or people from Central America.
Yeah.
Arizona originally is Mexico, by the way. Do you know how you say Arizona in Mexico? You don't. You just say Mexico. You know how you say California in Mexico? Same thing. It's
This is
Mexico.
Mexico.
This is Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe this is Mexico. I love Mexico.
Everyone here is Mexican.
I've been to Mexico so many times, and each time I go, especially in the Fury years, the 2016 to 2020, he would know. Those
years.
I would go to everybody in Mexico and be like, I am so sorry. I apologize. And they said, why? I said, well, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's amazing. I love Mexico. I love Baja.
You know, Mexico sent a lot of people to help with the earthquake in Istanbul.
And also a blessed, beautiful dog passed away. I love Mexico, man.
Yeah.
That's home. Yeah.
And they sent the dog back. They sent another dog back.
Yeah.
See, we're meant to be
We're
friends,
forever
you and I,
thankful
bro.
for Mexico.
We're meant to be friends,
I love
you and I.
Mexico. Thank you. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're hermanos, as we say in Turkey.
Hermanos. That's it.
It came to Spanish like everything else originated from Turkey.
Yeah. Al pastor.
El pastor means a Christian minister. In
The pastor.
the pastor. El pastor.
It's short for Alfred Pastori. The actor.
It's actually the real name is El Pastor Junior. Short. See.
So,
I love you, Gates. We go back to German.
we're gonna go back to you are a journalist.
I was.
You went to school for journalism.
I did, and I after I graduated, my dream was to work in National Geographic, but they said no. I was like, no. How about Discovery Channel? They're like, you'd be a great war correspondent. I was like, no.
That's
'Cause-
interesting. That they,
I mean, if you're from that part of the world and you got a journalism degree with theology, what do they give you? They're like,
Yeah.
and I say, I love whales. They're like, it doesn't matter. So I was like, where do you want to go? Baghdad?
We got you booked with Al Qaeda,
Right.
homie.
So I did go back. I worked at CNN back home. I did my
wow.
I did my not really work, like more like an internship, like the guy who brought tea back and forth, and then eventually when they found out I speak English and write English, I learned from
Yeah.
South Park, like I said, and then they said, well, let's go to a couple, and I didn't like it. I didn't like. I like nature and I love photography. I love the artistic beauty of God's grace, especially in animals. And I love and I didn't get to do it. So after that, right after some crazy stuff happened in Iowa, I came here because at that time I was trying to find a way to be able to get inspired. And the way I felt inspired is through human flight, and I love the ocean. And then I found out there was this new thing at that time called kiteboarding. It started, and I fell in love with it first time I saw, and I said, I want to change my life. I don't want to do anything else, but I want to kite. So then I moved here because this was the best place for it.
So it started off with cats and dogs.
Oh, I still love cats. And
But that's what it started off. It distracted you from school, and then kite flying and
kite flying, for me, I feel like comedy. Kite
that's what we're gonna
surfing,
get to next.
right?
Yeah,
Comedy, kite surfing,
and dogs.
animals,
Yeah.
and also art and also spirituality in that sense
Oh,
is equal.
yeah.
I feel I get the same happiness, the same joy. I would say the same high. I feel very blessed while doing those.
From all those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in college, I had a radio show that got 4 years. It got awards. It was a comedy show. That's how I started.
Wow.
And it was called Adam and Eno Show. And whenever things didn't work out, I would play silly Turkish music, and I would get like these hate messages, like keep doing it. In the airwaves of Iowa, while people driving, they'd be like, and it'd be so funny. We had fans, and I would do a lot of like anti-war material, and nobody would get it. So when people just, it was fun, man.
Was it hard being in that area during
It was
the war?
very hard.
Did you get assaulted? Did you get like
In Iowa?
Yeah.
That's so basically I had a very close good friends.
Okay.
They were so kind and loving and good people. But then with that, because I went to a Christian university, I went to a Methodist university, and I was really interested in Christianity because I had an amazing host father who I love very much still today, Hal Green, God bless him. And so as a Muslim, I wanted to learn about, but it turned out when I was there, everything I did turned out to be let's convert him stuff. With the Christian kids, like I went to Mexico these people believed that if you convert truly caring, nice Catholics into whatever Protestantism they believe in, that things are going to get better for them in paradise.
Yeah.
I was like, I would go. And then the whole trip, they would be like, have you heard of John 3:16 or Matthew? I was like, great. So then.
Sales pitch.
Yeah. But then after September 11th, even though our countries are allies, and even though I'm basically a secular Muslim guy, I want to be Muslim, I'd say, it was not hard for people to say, like, you're the guy. So right as I was graduating, about 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks before I graduated in 2005, I had made a big, like a presentation about this dreamy presentation about war journalism and how it's usually like done. And so after, I thought I was going to get an A+ and everything's going to go well and everything. I came back to my room that day, and then my roommate was so mad. And then I was like, what's happening? I walked back home, and then some girl that I never met in my life from a little small town says to my professor, and I quote, "This guy, his anger is mounting. He's a terrorist. He's going to blow up the school.
Jesus.
He's going to kill the professor. He's going to do this, and his anger is mounting." I don't even know her name, by the way.
Oh my God. Wow.
So when this happened, next morning I woke up and there was these two big guys. Actually, one of them was a black man. I was like, oh, thank God. He was wearing a suit. I was like, oh my God, I made it to the honor roll. Things are great. So I thought, I don't know. I'm so excited. I was like, well, I'm an exchange student. Things are going really good. Like, they're going to give me a gift. So they set me on the same golf cart that my roommate, Jeff, used to. And I was like, we go to and the guy showed me this email. It says, look what it says here. I read it. I was like, what?
Oh, shit.
The email's like, I read it. I said, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
If you think I have the resources or the interest, or how dare you? Oh, fuck you. So I walked out.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I was done.
Yeah.
I'm like, never coming back to here. So then my graduation was like kind of like, it was just sad. And I was coaching acrobatics at a gymnastics place there. And then I was like, I was going to do my master's in this place called Drake University. I just backed from off everything. I said, I don't want to be here again. I'm just sick and tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of, all those jokes that I have, like, Al-Qaeda or like bombs and whatever blowing stuff. I grew up in a very peaceful place. And then when those things started coming to you, you're like, you have to switch it into some kind of a comedy. Otherwise, it's not, So when I do comedy now, I basically try to channel into that piece of shit that was towards me.
Right.
And sometimes, very rarely, I think one time we were together with Corday. This happened. I think you were there. We were some material. One guy came up to me and said, I really agree with everything you're saying. I was like, you know what I mean?
That's the point.
You missed the point of
After
it.
almost 15, 20 years later, I've kind of established a way to do it so well, in a way that people actually buy into that. But these are all from pain.
Right.
All from hardship. It was tough.
Sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you found an outlet to turn that into.
It found me almost. I've loved comedy all my life.
If you don't laugh at it, you're gonna cry at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of crying too, like all of it.
Which is good.
Which is good. Yeah,
Urging.
healthy.
I got a question for you about journalism, because you talked about war journalism. How is there How fine is the line from war journalism and propaganda?
Very good question. I would say we are all at all times subjective. You know, when we're looking at, for example, when you have your camera, my white friend, for example, when he has his camera, he looks at the world from his Caucasian view, like he has, right? I'm exaggerating. Well, look, we have our own view. Like, we want to make things the way we want them. And that also goes for any kind of journalist that writes what they think or films what they think. But
what we emphasize on the same story could be different for everybody.
yeah, but you know, also the idea of that is something that I'm so not attracted to. I'm attracted to showing the beauty
Yeah.
or funny at
Yeah.
things, or like how you know, how I'm very attracted by the idea of grace, both
Yeah.
in normal life and in art.
Achieving it and seeing it on.
Yeah, I like grace.
Yeah.
I do.
Me too.
It's a word that I really like. We got serious.
No, and that's
Shit
what I
got real.
that's what I like aspire to be on stage.
Me too.
Graceful.
Amen.
Very graceful.
I really so. Can I tell you how I started comedy?
Yes, please.
I was being drafted to the Turkish army, and I wanted to like finish school first. So I started then I got drafted, and then afterwards I came back to California. But at that time I didn't have a green card. The citizenship, all that stuff was so hard. So I did a lot of under-table jobs, risky stuff. And then eventually it got so hard and I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, you know, when I was in Iowa, I would say, like, rather than being in this racist place where I know life is going to be hard, I'd rather be homeless in California. So then I was living in just these not really great places in Oakland and El Cerrito, small places, and it was tough. And not being able to get paid. And I worked like 2-3 years and people that I didn't pay anything. And then I was like, you know what, rather than doing this, I'd just rather be homeless in Hawaii, where kiteboarding started. So I went to Maui, and there was this one time my twin sister at that time was married and she got divorced, and I want to cheer her up, and what I have, she came to Hawaii, and there was this open mic, shout out to these amazing guys, Power Up Comedy on Maui, and they basically were doing this open mics. This was like 12, 13 years ago. And she said something like, go be a dumbass there. I was like, okay. So there was just like these surfer dudes and some kiter friends. So I went up. And after I went up, I told a joke that I really find was very funny. I can tell you, it's almost like something like this. It's kind of hacky, but like, you know, what's his name? Bono goes to Istanbul and goes into a concert. And right before he does his concert, he goes, you know, because he's so political, he goes, each time I can't do Irish accent, so I'm going to do a Southern accent to make it sound worse. Each time I snap my finger, some kid is dying in Africa. And the Turk goes, stop fucking snapping your finger. Right? So I told that. Which is not my joke, but people were like, ha ha, they worked in Hawaii.
Right.
So then a week after or so, there was this guy named Greg Wilson. He lives in LA, and he came and he said, we're looking for an opener for Greg Wilson. I was like, really? So I opened, like, I did 25 minutes of stupid shit. I tried to play ukulele. I would say, you're my wife, second wife. That just dumb shit, right? Things that made no sense, right? And I would be like, here's me tripping on mushroom, fall off. And I'd be like, here's surf, just dumb. People laughed. But then there was like a thing about that this person gave like a lesson. He taught us how to do comedy, which they do now still. He was giving comedy lessons, and then I paid and took one of his lessons. And he said, and I never forget, he looked at me and he said, I don't know about you. And he kind of basically insulted everybody and like, you suck much worse. You should never do this. How much do I make? Kind of thing. So he looked at me and he said, you know, what you're doing is so primitive. It's so foreign and not really, I don't get it, funny. Some guy like you should never riff and should never do crowd work or anything. It's just not for you. So that was all I wanted. And when he said, you can't do it, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So I just thought, like, because English is hard and I can't remember. You know, I have ADD, whatever. So I said, you know what? Let's turn on the crowd work. So I've been doing crowd work, but nothing else for the last, I'd say, 12 years. That really helped me. I'm really thankful for Grateful.
I was gonna say, does that help elevate you? Do you think that makes you actually grow faster in comedy if all you do
I
is
don't think
crowd
I
work?
grow faster, and I don't think I'm good at anything. I'm just trying to find a way to open up. I believe in that, like for the inspiration to come. So I don't really find first of all, I don't find myself funny. Right? Last time I watched Corday, I was like, it was so funny. I watch Corday and I go or same with you. Like I watch you guys and I say, man, these guys are so funny. They can remember all their sets. They're likable. And then I know when I go up there, I'm going to, even if I try to, it's not possible for me. Right? So I try to kind of turn my hardship into funny.
Right.
And try to be there at that exact moment.
You don't have planned jokes all that too much.
I treat it like wave riding. You know, I treat it almost like art, comedy, or anything I do. I treat it like I try to make it graceful, make it work.
Because you get them early where you just right away they're laughing at everything you do.
I like confusing.
And then you just laugh and they laugh.
Yeah,
and it's like, what the hell? Like, that's a graceful approach to it that it's hard for a lot of other people who write jokes to be able to master.
Well, also because I've been unheard all my life. Yeah. Like, because English was so hard. Yeah. Like, I couldn't speak it. People were like, what are you saying? Like, till today, including this beautiful moment, nobody really knows my actual name because I don't correct people. And at the same time, when I try to correct or when I try to make sense, I know I'm not heard often. So when I feel like I'm not heard, like, why do I try harder? So let's say, so I try to flip something that is hurtful into funny on stage. And it does work, but it's more riskier than a clean designed set like what you guys have. So those are, I think, so that's, I try to write the abstract part of comedy and all the people that I look up to. Like, I was really such a big fan of Jim Carrey. Before I knew even English, I watched The Mask and I was like, think of Pet Detective, Ace Ventura. He was everything I like. He loved animals. He was, he was really happy, and he was like, people made fun of him, but he didn't care. Yeah. And at the same time, not knowing a word of English, when I first watched The Mask with Turkish subtitles, not even hardly reading at that time, I was so happy. And then years later, I heard the English version. I was like, oh, that's different. But I was more attracted to what he did. Like, people say, I like Richard Pryor. I like whatever, anything American, let's say, right? Yeah. But there's an age after maybe 25, I would have understood them. But before then, it was all, what I felt attracted was the way they handled themselves.
And moving gracefully. That's what
and I found, So
I like that, man, because me, and I'm speaking for myself, I feel like I'm not a free spirit.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I don't feel like I am, so I need to depend on my jokes. I need to depend on that. I get kind of nervous sometimes about doing crowd work. I know he does crowd work all the time.
He's great,
but I'm not. I feel like I can't.
The thing about Corday, I like pointing fingers at him. The thing about Corday is he's very likable, but at the same time, people are afraid of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. I am also
like a panda bear. They're
right.
likable, but you might.
Yeah. So I am psychologically manipulative on stage. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they don't even know if I'm being misogynist, racist, hurtful, mean, or just dumb. Yeah. So and if you could give that gift to the people, then they're like, because they're gonna have generalizations about both Corday and me, right? Corday, when they look at him, was like, this guy's got to be a linebacker, or he's a security guy. Yeah. Do they look at me? They're like, is he a carpet salesman, or is he, I don't know. Jewelry. What is up with him? And then, or they go like, does he have everything together, or is he just a bum? Right. Yeah. So, and when you start talking, they're like, is he foreign or is he from here? So, being able to ride that off, ride that wave, depending on the crowd, because there's been times that I went on stage before I got up, like, because I get introduced sometimes, like he's from Middle East. I heard these things like, I'm gonna go get my gun. You know what I mean? Like in some Caucasian parts of California. And to change that crowd into someone that sees you as a somewhat of a, not an ally, but like one of the good ones, like they say.
Yeah.
So maybe you kind of change their mind in a way that they're like, oh, they're not all that bad.
You kind of you flip their perspective on what.
By God's grace, if it happens, but if they want to still be offended, there's so many things that they could be offended about.
Yeah.
Just by my existence.
For sure.
Yeah. Because a couple days yesterday, I say one of my jokes is like, because I've been told this so many times in Iowa. Like there was this one girl that said, "How many wives do you have?" I'm 16 years old. Oh. Right? It's going to be another many, many years until I even get close to thinking that I could even hold somebody's hand. I'm a shy guy. And then, but, if somebody says, and that's not something we do ever, maybe in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, I don't know where, or Utah, that's the main place. You would know better. So in the Caucasian tradition in Utah, that they do that, but multiple wives. But then I got so sick and tired of it, and I started saying, I came home to one of my wives, and people start laughing.
Yeah.
Right? But they think I have
that.
Yeah. But they think I have multiple wives. So what do? Like, if you can either write it out. You can be like, no, that's not. See, the secular Turkish Republic, or you could be like, yeah, I have multiple wives.
Steer into this kid.
Right. What do you do?
Yeah.
If there's a generalization about you.
Yeah, cholo.
You can
I've never been in the gang, but like, oh, you a big cholo, like.
Yeah. You can either write it out, or you could just try to educate people, and that's not my job.
No.
I'm not a good educator.
Yeah. It's funny because there's a comic, I forgot his name, but he had a joke about when he was in school, some kid said to him, because he's Asian, some kid said to him,
Technically, I'm Asian too.
I bet you have a small dick. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking 7.
Oh, so good. My job, my daytime job, actually, I'm a kiteboarding instructor. I teach
no way.
for many years.
Wow.
So I teach kite lessons.
Something this guy would want to do.
I just picked up surfing.
Nice. That's great.
Me and my best friend just bought surfboards and taught ourselves. And
that's great. Surfing is amazing.
It's one of the funnest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to swim.
That's great. It will all
God
come.
damn, you want to swim?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
So you teach kite surfing?
I have been for the last maybe 2 decades. So I found out, I do private lessons. I found out telling people what to do makes them try to please you. When your job is to, negotiate and be okay and be a part of the ocean, right? Mm-hmm. So if you tell them do this, do that, they get nervous. So I try to make sure I consider myself more like a Sherpa, like someone who you're doing like more like a bro,
right?
Not even a guide, not any of that, but that's how I like to. And I don't even want to use the word teach. Yeah. As I'm inspired, I'd like to see other people inspired, but I don't consider myself like doing something for, It's you can't teach kite surfing, you can't teach surfing, you cannot teach anything, you cannot teach comedy. I know there's a lot of people
only learn.
Here. Well, I also, not even learn. I think it's being present at that moment. You can be if you're present at like for example, you go to let's say a lineup and let's say you go to Pacifica, right?
Right.
And there's some other Caucasians, great Caucasians, and other people, real human great Caucasians, and actual great Caucasian sharks under the water, right?
Sure.
So you're nervous. No offense. So you're nervous.
Great Caucasian.
It's the biggest problem in the West Coast. The great Caucasian. Right, and in Central America, in Middle Eastern America, like Mississippi or no
Middle Eastern,
Middle Eastern Central America would be like Indiana or where's the clan from?
They're from they're originally
Alabama.
Right.
They formed in Tennessee.
Right. So those places there's also
Tennessee or Kentucky.
There's also bigger Great Caucasian problem, right?
Yeah.
In the land, Great Caucasian, but we're talking about Great Caucasian. Hello?
Yeah. Oh, your thing cut out?
Am I cutting off?
No, I can hear you.
You're fine.
You're good.
You're doing great.
Your headphones.
Did you give me a kiss?
No.
It looked like it.
No,
That's
he's
nice.
chewing his gum, Mike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See how controlling he is? That's going to be great for him in surfing. So when you're learning to surf, there's a lot of people that kind of get on your way, right? At first, so they discourage you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine a world where you can go surfing without somebody going, get out of my wave. Like, not a world where people use words like stoked and nar and shred, but more a word where people use words like, you're doing a good job. And then you'll get better at it.
Sure.
So the positive
reinforcement.
Yeah.
You know where we tend to go? We actually go to Stinson Beach.
Stinson's great.
Yeah, and because
there's also
like,
great Caucasians there. I
Yeah.
saw a biggest whale there.
Well, yeah, so we go there because it's like mostly sandbar, and we got scared. The first time we went to Pacifica, and it was all rocks, and
Amazing.
we got hurt
Yeah,
a couple times.
Yeah.
So we were like,
Where's your favorite break? You would say
it's
Stinson?
Stinson, yeah.
It's amazing.
I specifically go there because we found that the waves were a little smaller.
So nice.
It was a little safer for us, and then we go pretty early in the morning, so we try to go before all
Dawn
the
patrol.
good surfers. You know what I
It's
mean?
called Down Patrol. Yeah.
Why is it called that?
That's what they say.
Oh,
Early
okay.
in the morning, Down Patrol.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a terrible surfer.
Okay.
I can do a lot of things when I'm being guided by a kite.
Okay.
But yeah, that's fun, man.
But yeah,
Surfing is
we're not
amazing.
great, but we just love doing it. You know,
Nice.
Keep trying it.
You have a longboard?
I do. I have an 8-foot foam board right
Nice.
now.
That's
I do have a
fantastic.
6-foot. What's it called? What's it called?
Fish? Truster?
No, not a fish. My buddy has
Don't ask-
my
don't
buddy
ask
has a
me.
7-foot fish, but I have a 6-foot. What's it called? That type of material that's like hard
I like
plastic.
to call it
I
shred
touch this?
stick, gnar stick. Yeah,
can
you
touch it.
It's yours.
Yeah. But that one I can't get
I
on
feel-
yet.
Sorry, I'm joking.
No, that one I can't stand up on yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm still practicing on that one. But the 8-foot I've got on. I've ridden a few waves every time I go. But it's definitely.
Ocean is great, man.
You know what I found? The most peaceful thing in the world is once we get past the breaks, is just sitting on your board
Yeah.
and just you literally cannot hear.
It's
the
so
freeways.
therapeutic, isn't it?
You can't hear anybody yelling.
Yeah.
We had a baby seal come up one time next to us, which kind of freaked us out at first, but then we kind of just stayed calm. And once that was gone, we just stayed on the water for like another 5 minutes.
What a blessing.
Caught a wave back. It was the most peaceful thing in the
And
world.
its grace is following you now. How cool is that? How many times can you say about that?
Seal,
Yeah.
a baby
So
seal.
great.
Yeah.
You know, I wish always thought, like, you know, there's a lot of people really try to convert each other to whatever they believe, their
Yeah.
faith or whatever. Like, there was this one time I was on Maui, because I've been tried to be converted many times by many amazing, sweet Christian people. Like, I'd have people, there was this one lady that crying on my shoulder. I was like, wow, it's wet. Well, you're going to hell. I was like, okay. One time on Maui,
She was so
this
worried about
person
you.
came up to me and said, have you heard about our Savior, Jesus Christ? Do you accept him? I said, yeah, I love him. He's like, are you saved? I was like, I don't know, man, am I? And he's like, well, let me tell you. So he started from, you know, like Genesis, and he started going. I said, sir, I'm so sorry. We're in this beautiful place, Maui, and how hard would it be for you to just walk a block to the beach? We're at Taco Bell. I'm not converting here. You know what I mean? So it was just right in front of a Taco Bell.
Right.
If you want to convert people, go to the beach. You know, at that 5 minutes, right?
Right.
In those 5 minutes that you were sitting right by a
Respect.
seal, right? If I were to be like, bro, my Mexican bro, you know what? Have you heard of Scientology? And you'd be open to it.
Maybe now. Yeah.
Honestly,
Now, right? After that
can't think
session-
of a better place to convert somebody to Scientology
Right?
than to Taco Bell.
No.
That's true. In a way, yes. I agree. I had an existential crisis right now. That is true. You know what? That was a terrible mistake. I'm going to change it to something else.
Mormon.
Right.
There you go.
Have you heard of the Church of Latter-day Saints in this beautiful ocean, right, we have? Melchizedek Church, well, the thing that we get to have here is, I don't know, you could totally, like, you would think about it twice, but Taco Bell, not the right place.
Yeah.
So I think the best place to convert people, churches, mosques, synagogues, and church-a-muskagogue, church-a-gogue, whatever, all the mixes of them,
Church is chicken.
should go to the beaches.
Church is chicken.
Churches, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be more church chicken by churches.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. By the way, I have a problem. I have a problem with the great American tradition of one. I just finished man burning. I have a problem with that. I said that many times. Right? Yeah. Right. The second one is this terrible place called In-N-Out. In-N-Out. Why do they have John 3:16 under those glasses?
True. That's true. That
It is
weird.
so disrespectful
That is
to
weird.
put.
Oh, I just hate their.
And there's verses from Matthew, Leviticus. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And also, their corners, when you take right, they're always blocking the road.
That's
How
true.
unchristian of them. Right? I'm not converting because of
In-N-Out.
both man burning, I find it to be unfair. You should too.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
And also, so these are the American traditions I have a problem with. Man burning, right? Which most of us should.
Have you been there?
I have never been to
I
a man
agree.
burning.
Man burning is a problem.
Right.
Problematic.
I am not a burner. I'm against anything that's been done in a desert, burning flames,
Trapped. Burning men.
right? Yeah. So I know I'm going to lose
Like
a lot
that on
of
the Fire
already not
Festival.
having fans. I don't really have. Yes, my bro. Wouldn't that be funny if you touch his eye, go like, oh? That's so cool. It was made with love.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Okay. I love art.
I love you.
I go to art shows.
Nice.
And I just like look. I used to go to like see graffiti with my friends and just watch them. You know, I've had graffiti artists because I love that shit. I suck.
No, you don't.
I suck at
How old are
I
you?
used to paint 33.
I'm gonna tell you something after you say that.
Okay. And I just want to ask you like what made you decide to start painting?
Very good question. So
Yeah.
you're 33.
Yeah.
Right.
Same age as Jesus when he died.
Peace and blessings be upon him. The Sultan of our hearts.
Yes.
But not the Son of God, but the Prophet.
Yep.
Amen.
Yep.
That's right. I just put in some Islamic agenda there.
Yeah.
You like it.
Yeah.
I'm radical Muslim. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Shred the nar. Wouldn't that be cool?
Shred the nar
so-
with Jesus.
33.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old. I started
Wow.
painting at 37. I have not painted anything until 37.
Wow.
One day I went downstairs. I saw. I mean, basically, I was trying to follow this one person. I thought that was like a spiritual guide that kind of made my life and other people's life kind of tough for like 15, 16 years, and I never really seen kindness. Like it was just like there was a lot of this. Just I was like, what is the best place I could do is just be like this, be mean to my people who care about me and the whatever.
Yeah.
What did the white person do?
Gave us the 5-minute light.
He didn't like the story.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So anyway, so we're in Burning Man.
Yeah.
It comes a brown person. we're doing. So I started one day. I looked at my dog after like this kind of weird, like psychological, spiritual torture of years in a way. Then I went down. I'm blessed with the most beautiful dog on the planet. I looked at him, and I started painting.
Oh.
I haven't stopped. I have about
Nice.
1,700 plus big paintings, and all my life savings I spend it on that. And this size I sold often for that size about like close to 1,100 I had.
Wow.
And I mean, mostly I don't name the price, but likely if you could wait about 300 years after I die, it's going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah. I have some.
I got screwed in art so much too, by the way. But
I have some that I've never shown people.
Well, I
Did
don't
you
do.
say you've never painted?
Well, you got 5 more years to
You just
even.
said
I'm
Yeah.
not good.
Oh.
I'm sure you're great. Just being able to turn it on, man. I'm sure you can turn it on.
Yeah.
I believe
just
in you. I believe in
like
everybody here,
looking- I like
including my
looking
wife.
at it more than, I like doing letters too.
Yeah.
That's why I used to like hang out with graffiti artists because I used to like doing that too, just
Yeah.
lettering. And
I have no education in this.
no, and that's what I realized when I go to art shows. I have a friend who's he sometimes sells paintings. He has art shows all the time, and he's the one that he bought me canvases and paintbrushes.
Yeah.
And he said, "There's no right or wrong, dude. Just start."
I just used my finger for the first time, and then I used like.
That's what I used to use too.
I think it's really important for us wannabe artists, comics and painters, whatever,
Yeah.
to never get advice. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah,
when
yeah.
somebody says, change this joke into that, like, have you walked in my shoes?
Yeah.
Have you had 14 years of subtitles done to English?
Yeah.
Or have you gone through the things that you've gone
Yeah.
through and even my white friend has gone through? You haven't.
No.
And then also with art, like the same thing is like, there's been people that said, you can't do it like this, you should do this.
Yeah.
And critics any critical.
Who've never done it.
Yeah, and somebody coming up telling you is like, well, maybe you should put this in your comedy.
Yeah.
Don't you want to just choke them?
All the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like, because that kills your inspiration. So my biggest goal right now is to not get caught up with other things so I lose my inspiration, both for comedy and art. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
That's right. And repeat after me now. We're all going to convert to Islam.
Okay.
Are we ready?
All right.
We'll do it afterwards.
Inanc,
Cordy is also one of them.
you are amazing, dude.
You're amazing, bro. I love you.
I love you,
And
man.
I love Mexico.
I love Mexico too, and I want to
I
have
love half of Mexico
half of Mexico. Yeah,
because he's hybrid.
he is. We appreciate you coming out, my brother.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you, man.
Love everybody, including my white friend.
Yes, yes.
I'm so sorry you were the minority here, and it felt really good for us.
It did.
It
right?
did. It did.
We want a world like this.
Good luck. That's all I have to say.
It's already happening.
I made 4 friends and one you. You're one of the good ones. He's a good white.
There we go.
Good white. Okay.
He's a good guy.
was
He's
fun.
a good guy.
Are you going to be okay having this heard by the rest of the world? I don't mean to disrespect.
The whites.
You know what? No, it's safe. Joe Biden. We're
Yeah.
cool. Do you remember if we were like in Obama bin Hussein years?
Yeah.
It was so fun. George Bush and his father.
Yeah.
That
Big Bush.
Big Bush.
Yeah.
Those were
Big Bush,
You
little
were
Bush.
good then.
Big
Yeah.
Bush, little Bush.
Sorry. By the way, if things get hard again, I can always go back to writing Caucasian.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
Pigmentation
gonna start
unfortunately.
painting again because of this.
because you feel like it.
I stopped, and then the first time I started doing painting since I was a kid, it was because I was too high one day.
Wow.
And I smoked too much weed, and I was panicking, and I just started painting, and it calmed me down, and then. And I saw it up like, wow, this is terrible. But
Yeah.
but you know, it kind of does something to me. I like the whole, you know,
It's nice.
yeah, starting off with a blank. So I appreciate this. This
Thank
is
you,
this
my
is
bro.
inspiration, bro.
You're
You
so
don't
good.
realize what it is for
so
me.
kind.
And
I
blocking Marcos'
wish-
face right now. This is
Everybody in this place, including you, I don't mean to. Everybody in this place, success in everything you do, and I hope we all
Appreciate it, man.
continue get inspired. And I want to be.
praise be to Allah.
Amen. And I hope that's right. This is good. This is good. I want to open for you guys if you let me when you guys do your special.
Damn, that's
He's closer to that.
I
than
think
me.
Cordy is close. He knows. Yeah.
He knows.
Cordy probably has somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably me.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
You know what? Because of what Cordy looks like, he's got to have a lady open up for him.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I have to have. I don't know who I have.
I'll let you come for something.
That's good. Yeah. We'll continue to our.
We'll go eat tacos first.
Nice.
I'm assuming you don't eat pork.
I do. I'm ethnically no.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
so
So
long.
you're on camera, dude. So make sure you say you don't eat pork. All right, right there. Let them know you don't eat
No,
pork.
I don't eat pork.
Okay.
It's haram.
All right, man.
Can you tell our listeners where they
could
can follow
tell-
you?
You can follow me when I walk my dog. You can follow me online
Nice.
on the internet.
What's your IG? What's your handle?
My RG is Inanc Karac. Go ahead, find it. Let me spell it for you. Inanc, like bring it down an inch. Karac, like would I be gay or straight? Depends on the crutch I like. And my book face is Inanc Ino because people can't say Karacaylak.
Karachayla. I said it
So
yesterday. Good, right?
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.
And my Instagram is abstract Inanc. And I used to have a Facebook page called Führer Trump before the piece of shit became the Führer. No offense. And I had like some people that it was the most amazing comedic experience.
Look how I spelled his name yesterday for the lineup
So
for the
good.
show.
Abstract Inanc and Inanc Karacaylak art is where I put all my artwork.
Okay.
And I'm hoping to sell them
Cool.
so I could make more.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I just thank you so much. This is such an honor.
Thank you so much for coming, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I love everybody here.
Did you want to end on a prayer? You brought it up earlier. That's
I did?
Yeah, you did.
Well, dear God, I want everybody to be happy in this place. And if we have any disagreements or dislikes, I hope that turns into humor. And I hope everybody makes it here and hereafter. I hope we're all happy.
That's been the Voice Party.
Ciao.
And we're out.
You praised it. You're